biggest winners in the AFC Northeast offseason.
This is a team that consistently is going to be in position to contend because of how talented they are. The reality of it is those guys can play.
The AFC should watch out for the Baltimore Ravens this season.
Players in the NFL, certainly one of the best players at quarterback. They got a guy at tailback in J.K. Dobbins, who I think could be an all-pro. They got one of the best tight ends in football, a plethora of perimeter weapons, some health on the offensive line, a very good defensive line, one of the better young linebackers in the NFL, and a top 5 secondary. And no one talks about it.
Yo, what it is? Welcome back to another episode of At the Bank, Baltimore Ravens podcast. And I can certainly sit here and tell you, Doug, this was not what I wanted. I damn sure did not want to come on here today and talk about my Ravens is sitting home or going to Cancun or playing in the Pro Bowl games or anything of that nature, man. I thought I was going to be able to come back and talk about how my guys have succeeded, beating the Chiefs and advancing to the Super Bowl. But it didn't happen. It didn't go down like that, man. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people was like, yo, Dad, where the hell you been at, yo? What you was on hiding? What you ain't want to talk to us no more? You ain't want to deal with us? And frankly, man, I really had to process this game, though. Like, really, I had to really just sit here, be to myself, and really come to the conclusion, like, how the hell did we lose, yo? What the fuck happened? And I can tell you right now, yo, that game had left me emotional damage. I couldn't really believe that the TV really wanted me to be.
I cannot see. I'm legally blind.
Because that's exactly how the hell I felt, yo. It's like, no bullshit. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know it's just a game. I wasn't really a part of it. But, yo, like, I'm a real big-ass fan, yo. And for the Ravens to lay an egg like that, man, and not really come out the way I thought they was going to play, anything of that nature, man, it really, really had me at disbelief. But on some for real stuff, though, let's get a big shout out to the Chiefs, man. Give them standing ovation, man. These guys really came out and played. They actually showed us what a real championship team really looks like. When you have one of the greatest coaches, if now since Belichick has really stepped away, well, nobody hired him. Now we sitting here thinking that Andy Reid is possibly the best head coach in the game right now. Then, Tom Brady steps away, retired. And then we was like, well, who's the best quarterback? And now we can clearly say that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Travis Kelce is arguably the best tight end in the game. When you got that mix, man, and then Steve Spagnuolo, the way he did to the Chiefs defense, man, really got to give them hats off, man. Real live shit. They showed that they was the better team. And it shows how to beat the Ravens. Because all year long, we've been bullying teams. And the way to beat a bully is to become a bully. And that's exactly what the Chiefs did. They came into the Bank Stadium bullying us. You seen what Travis Kelce did to Justin Tucker. And I really felt like that was a dick move. But at the same time, man, that was a good strategic move. Sorry. Because you're getting into the heads. You're getting into the Ravens' faces, and you really showing them, like, we don't care what y'all normally do at your home stadium. We come here to fuck shit up. And that's exactly what the Chiefs did, man. They able to out-bully us. Because all year long, we've been bullying teams. We've been beating the shit out of teams. All year long, we done beat the shit out of the 49ers, the Dolphins, the Lions, the Seahawks, the Bengals, the Browns. We done we done demolish these teams. And then, but now the Chiefs was like, no, we're not going to be one of those statistic teams that y'all done blew out, beat up, whooped ass. None of that. We're going to show y'all what a championship pedigree team is. And that's exactly what the Chiefs did, man. So hats off to them, man, because like I said, they was the bigger bullies on that Sunday, on championship Sunday, man. And better team won. Better experienced team won. Let me say that. Because that's all they really relied on. Nothing else really clicked for the Chiefs other than experience. They didn't blow us out. They didn't wow us. They did what they were supposed to do. They had a couple of wows, they had a couple of oohs, but at the same time, the Ravens were still able to manage to stay inside the game, stay within close in range to striking range, to at least getting close to try to win this game. So, you know what I mean? It wasn't like it was an old-fashioned ass whipping or anything in that nature. It was just the experience really showed for the Chiefs. So, shout out to him, man. And now, let's talk about what we're going to be talking about today, man. I'm going to be sitting here breaking down, give you the graphics on what the hell the Ravens had showed us. You feel me? And why it was so important for us to win this year. You feel me? And I get to that towards the end of the show in about a good 20 minutes or so. We're going to talk about why it was so important. But let's talk about what that product of a team that John Harbaugh, Todd Monken really showed us, man. What did they give us, man? And that was not the team that I was looking for. That was not the bullying team that we've been bullying teams with all year. This is not the game plan that I really thought that they was going to really give us. They gave us a bullshit game plan, and they tried to rely on one person and didn't try to do it as a team. And the reason why I say they try to rely on one person, they try to rely on Lamar. They put a lot of pressure on Lamar. And I'm not saying Lamar wasn't able to live up to the hype and wasn't able to take it down, but that's not the recipe. That's not how the hell we got here. The way we got here was fucking running the ball. Run the ball. Like, it kills me, man, when you try to deviate and switch up your game plan to how the hell we got here. Run the ball. And the reason why I say they switched up the game plan, man, because all year long, that's what we have been, a run team. Relying on passing here and there, and we became a balanced team. But most importantly, we was a run-first team. And by us being a run-first team, we was able to take home a lot of good statistics and being number one in a rushing team. You feel me? Like, rushing an attempt, we was first. All year long, we was first. We had 541 attempts. Rushing yards, we were first with 2,661 rushing yards. Rushing yards per game, we were first by averaging 156.5 yards a game. And yards per rush, we were first. 4.9 yards. Like, I'm not understanding. Like, you see it. We were first in all those categories. And you get to the biggest game of our season and you deviate from that game plan. And it wasn't because of injuries we had to deviate from that game plan, because we had injuries in that running back spot all year long. J.K. Dobbins went down the first week. Keaton Mitchell went down in the middle of the season. And we would just keep plugging and playing, and we would just gave Gus Edwards more time, more carries. Believed in Justice Hill. At one point in time, man, we even believed in Melvin Gordon. But at the same time, it felt like they lost faith in these guys. And I don't understand, how would you lose faith in Gus Edwards? Gus Edwards put up a big year. No, it wasn't a 1,000-yard year, but he put up numbers. Gus Edwards, the most important number is Gus Edwards played 17 games this year. That means he was available. Your best ability is availability. And he showed that he was available all year. He had 255 snaps. Out of those 255 snaps, he had 198 rushing attempts. He had 810 yards. He was averaging 4.1 yards per carry. And he got into the end zone 13 times this year. Not understanding why you didn't want to keep running Gus the bus. Because when he got into his first carry at the AFC Championship was a 15-yarder. His first carry. Showing that, like, uh-oh, it looks like this is about to be a running game. It looks like this is about to be the Ravens-style offense. This is about to be a Ravens game. And they deviated from that, man. How did they deviate from that? Look at what Gus Edwards and Justice Hill carried, man. They had 6 carries. Gus Edwards had 3 carries, 20 yards, averaging 6.7 yards a carry off of 3 carries.
Oh, my God.
It sounds like my guy was getting ready to be having first down after first down after first down, churning after churning. Justice Hill had 3 carries, but he 3 yards, averaging 1 yard a carry. But you know what I mean? That's okay, because remember, we signed Dalvin Cook towards the end of the season. Dalvin Cook was signed to the 53-man roster. Dalvin Cook played a little bit in the divisional round and was like, uh-oh, it looks like Dalvin Cook is good ready to get his shine. We heard all the buzz and the rumors talk about Dalvin Cook looks good in this offense. Dalvin Cook is about to show out in this offense. But you ain't even fucking see him. Not one snap of Dalvin Cook. So what was the goddamn point of just putting these reports about him looking good into this offense, him signing to this offense, and all this other shit, and we ain't even fucking use them? It don't make it just didn't make no sense at all, man. It just really bothered me, man. And then John Harbaugh gonna have the nerve to say, believe it or not, it was a big part of our game plan to run the ball. We had the ball for 9 minutes in the first half. You want to run the ball against the Chiefs. We did want to run the ball. We just couldn't get to it. John Harbaugh, my guy, great coach. Believe that his job is not on the line. I feel like that John Harbaugh has really put himself in the coaching of the year categories and so on. Did a phenomenal job. Added pieces where we needed to add it. He was able to have these guys up and ready for any task that was in front of us. By all means, yes. But you know, one thing I would like to say in that comment that you put, you said that we had the ball for 9 minutes. You want to know why we had the ball for 9 minutes? Because you stopped running the ball. The clock wasn't churning. You went to this game plan that, yes, it was successful, and I'm going to get to it in a minute. It was successful throughout the regular season, but that still was not our identity throughout the whole damn season, man. You really fucked that money all up, man. Church is closed now, but it's just crazy, like how you just went away from that game plan. It's like everything lined up for us to beat the Chiefs. It was in our favor. We was home at the bank, #1 seed. The Chiefs never played the AFC Championship outside of Arrowhead. That M&T Bank Stadium was rocking. The legends was there. Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Ed Reed, Jonathan Ogden. Everything was set for us to win that game. It was set for us to win the Super Bowl. Or to be in the Super Bowl. It was designed. It was there. The team, the chemistry, everything was there. But you know one thing that wasn't there? Our original game plan. Our game plan was not there. And I felt like Kansas City really came in there and changed the whole game plan up. Just by their presence. Just because of who they are. I understand that Patrick Mahomes he's Patrick Mahomes, but you don't put Lamar in that predicament. And that's what I felt like the Ravens really did. They really put Lamar in that predicament. Now, don't get me wrong, man. People is probably shouting at Lamar, saying, Lamar, why would you play like this? Lamar, you didn't live up to. Yes, Lamar didn't really play up to where I thought he was going to play. You feel me? And a lot of people was saying that throughout this whole season, Lamar didn't throw 30 plus times. We didn't win games off of Lamar arm, anything. And that technically, if you really go back into our season, it was 7 games that Lamar had 30 plus. 7 games. We was 5-2 in those 7 games. 5-2. So yes, you would think about it like, oh shit, well, each game that he was over 30 plus, we only lost 2 games, and those 2 losses really came to end early in the season against the Colts and against the Browns. You know, that was the only 2 losses he had when he threw for 30 plus. But like I said, when it goes back to not having the great recipe of the running game. We put Lamar into this predicament. Lamar was 20 for 37, 272 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 8 carries for 54 yards. Was averaging 6.8 yards a carry. And like I said, in those 7 games, man, Lamar had 30 plus attempts and went 5-2. So we had it. It's just like, oh man, if we would just ran the damn ball, man. If we would just ran the ball, it would have been. I think it would have been a different story. We wouldn't have to put the game into LJ's arm, because if we wanted to actually win, putting the game into LJ's arm wasn't going to do it. Try to go back and forth with Patrick Mahomes. It's not it. It's not how you make Lamar showing that he was the better dual threat quarterback. It was at times where Lamar had space and he could have just got 4 yards each time, because the Chiefs just kind of forgot about Lamar. They didn't have their normal guy who can spy on Lamar, you feel me? And Willie Gay. So it was giving us an advantage. But also, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's not to put all the blame on Lamar, but Lamar, you had to take what's given to you. If that open field is given to you, man, you got to take it, dog. You got to also remember that internal clock got to be playing in your head, yo. At the 3 to 4 seconds, you got to go. That's how you got that strip sack. Because don't get me wrong, yes, you go through your progressions, and I felt like that you showed that you can go through your progressions. But at the same time, man, you got to get the hell out of there, my guy. Sitting there trying to go through those progressions is not just work all the time. Everybody, you know what I mean, is not just sitting back and just waiting for you to just throw. They waiting for you to be a dynamic quarterback, showing that you can be a dual threat quarterback, showing that you can move outside the pocket, transition the pocket to the left or to the right, and getting out there and hitting strides, hitting strikes. But once again, when you don't run the ball, those play actions, those downfield threats, and anything in that nature is not going to work. Now you're putting ourselves to play hero ball. And that's exactly what we played, was fucking hero ball, man. And that's not going to get it. Hero ball is not going to get it done. The reason why hero ball is not going to get it done is going to lead into this: mistakes. It's going to lead into 3 turnovers, 2 by Lamar, an interception and a fumble. And then you try to put Zay Flowers into a predicament also of getting a turnover, thinking that, yo, I got to make this big play. And then he had the first down. If he just got the first down, went down, Gus Evans probably would have got the touchdown right behind it on the next play. But you put him in a position to play hero ball. And then Snead went on here and stripped him. Then it was a touchback. Then you clearly see that the air of the M&T Bank Stadium just left after that play. And then those mistakes started getting to penalties. We had 8 penalties. 8 of them. And 5 of those penalties was 15-yard penalties. So now that we didn't follow our normal game plan, we put Lamar into a different predicament, in a bad predicament, and they put us in as a team of getting these mistakes. Like, clearly getting these mistakes. And that's why I said, yo, it took me a while to actually come back on here and give my opinion. It was like I really had to watch that game again and see how did we lost. It was us. It was our own mistakes really that cost us this loss. It was the Ravens putting their foots in their own mouth by bad play calling, by shit. I just had it, but they had bad play calling and bad coaching. It showed you that the Chiefs had the better coaching. You feel me? So this is the learning experience for us as a team. We gotta number one, we gotta stick to the game plan. What got us there. Number two, you gotta play up to the level play up to the level of the height that it was given to us. We didn't live up to the height. For us to only score 10 points, it's not living up to the height where we was averaging 28 points a game as an offense. So that's what I got out this game, man. That's what I really, once I reevaluated this game and stuff like that, that it was just bad coaching. Us didn't coach right. It was putting us in a bad predicament. Everybody trying to play hero ball. And once you try to play hero ball, man, sometimes it just don't go right. And it didn't go right for us. I see I got a couple of comments. I see my man Barry said Lamar shits the bed again. Lamar Prescott. I'm not gonna give him the Prescott aspect, not just now. But Lamar did. I'm not gonna say he shit the bed fully, but I just think that he didn't live up to the hype, man. I felt like Lamar just really didn't play what was in front of him. I felt like he tried to win it in a different atmosphere. I felt like the pressure was on him to try to win it with his arm so much that he tried to prove us wrong with his arm. And it failed for us. My guy Rod said, "What's up, my guy? Y'all need to fire John Harbaugh." No, sir. I don't think we need to fire John Harbaugh. I just think that John Harbaugh really just needs to get out his own way. I think John Harbaugh got to really remember what got us there. To try to deviate in anything in that nature wasn't a good recipe for us. So I just think that Harbaugh got to get out of his own way, stop overthinking everything, and stick to the script, man. Stick to the script. Run a damn ball. Oh my goodness, yo. But anywho, we're gonna go ahead and let that digest, let that breathe a little bit, let that sink into y'all heads a little bit. Is that the Chiefs were the better team. The Ravens gave up this game. And before I let this go, I know a lot of people say, yo, what about the refs? Refs missing a lot of calls. The refs missed the pick play on Kyle Hamilton for Travis Kelce. They missed the defensive pass interference on Isaiah Likely. They missed a holding call on Dafe. They missed a holding call on Van Noy. That's why he got the flag. The refs has been shitty all year. There's no exception. The refs showed us who they are. The refs, you know what I mean? You can't really blame the refs. Yes, the refs put us in the hole a little bit, but at the same time, it was still our mistakes that if we would have ran the ball, the refs, it wouldn't have been put in the predicament of that. If we would have played a little bit more physical and aggressive, those pick plays probably wouldn't have happened. Or maybe we'd have took a little bit of acting class. Fall on the floor, do some flopping or something of that nature. I don't condone the flopping, but you know what I mean? We got to find a way. The refs wouldn't. We already know that the refs is not good. The refs is going to do what refs do. You know what I mean? But at the same time, man, we were still, even with the refs not giving us the calls that we should have got. Most definitely that pass interference to Isaiah Likely. I felt like that we should have been down on that 1 yard line. But they didn't give it to us because, like I said, man, we shot ourselves in the foot. We made too many mistakes for them to say, like, let's just give them this. So I just think that if the game plan was a little bit different, the referees, we wouldn't have been factoring the referees into the game, and we wouldn't be dependent on the referees. Like I said, yes, referees did miss some calls. But at the same time, I still feel like the refs are not the real reasons why that we lost. we got to look inside that locker room. Is the reason why we lost. It was, like I said, bad game planning. And like I said, man, before I let us go, the reason why this was so important this season was so important, man, because for the simple fact that we have a lot of key free agents this year, a lot, and this was the time for us to. The team that we had, I felt like it was the better chemistry. I felt like it was the better team. I felt like that this team had to win it now because majority of these players probably won't be back as a Raven next year. And the top players, or not the top players, but the players that, will be departing us in the offseason is OBJ, Nelson Aguilar, Laquan Treadwell, Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, Melvin Gordon, Dalvin Cook, Kevin Zeltler, John Simpson, Sam Mustford, Patrick Queen, Delshawn Phillips, Tyler Huntley, Josh Johnson, Jadeveon Clowney, Malik Harrison, Kyle Van Noy, Justin Matabike, Brent Urban, Arthur Millette, Keon Simia, Travion Mullen, Darius Washington, Geno Stone, Daryl Worley, Rock Yashin, Ronald Darby, and Tyler Oates. And some of these names was big names this year. Jadeveon Clowney and Kyle Van Noy, Justin Matabike, Patrick Queen, Geno Stone, who was number 2 in the interception. Ronald Darby, who played exceptional, coming off an ACL injury from last year, man. Like, all those defenders put up big numbers this year for us. And then not to mention, with those guys is in the free agent, Mike McDonald is now the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. So shout out to you, Mike. I'm proud of you, man. I'm happy. I was grateful to have you as a defensive coordinator here. You put up some big numbers. You did what you're supposed to do, man, and nothing but respect, and I wish you nothing but the best. Some of these guys can go over to Seattle maybe if Seattle has that money. Patrick Queen played his ass off this year, man. I really want him to come back. Justin Matabike, I really want him to come back. On the offensive side, man, I would love to have OBJ one more year. I would love to have Nelson Aguilar another year. I would love to have Dalvin Cook to see how he is behind with the Ravens a full year. I would love to have Gus Edwards back. That's my guy, yo. We can't let Gus go. You know what I mean? All these, this is why I said that this season was very, very key. Was very, very important. Because with all these departures, with the coaches, the players, then the AFC is not easy to actually repeat and get back to the AFC Championship or even to get to the playoffs, really. The AFC North, we already know that's one of the best divisions in the whole NFL. It's going to be tough with these key losses, man. So I'm hoping that we can get some of these key pieces back next year. Another conversation, another topic, another time, you feel me? And with all these pieces gone, man, we got to really look into this offseason and try to figure out, like, where do we start? Do we start back on the offensive side to help LJ out to continue his progression? Do we go to the defensive side and we got to build the solid defense so LJ can get the ball back and progress as that top quarterback that we're looking for him to be? It's just a lot. It's a lot this offseason we got to sit here and think about, man. But one thing to leave us on a positive note, though, I would like to say congratulations to our new defensive coordinator, Zach Orr, man. Zach Orr is going to bring some great intensity. Mike McDonald has said it himself. He had put it in the quote that he appreciate that we getting Zach Orr as a defensive coordinator is a great move for the Ravens. He know that Zach Orr is going to be able to produce and get his guys to play. And he's prepared and can't wait to see what that he brings to the table, and I can't wait to see what he brings to the table because as a player, he was a dog. He had to end his career a little bit early due to some injuries, but during that time that he was a Raven, man, he was a dog, and I'm so happy that he was able to make his way to the organization, build his way up, ground up from the organization, and now I can't wait to see what type of scheme that he will bring. Is he going to be a blitzing type of guy? Is he going to be a coverage type guy? If we're going to play zone, we're going to play man. What type of defense is he going to bring? So most definitely stay tuned to the further future episodes down the line as I'm getting to know and getting us ready to see what Zach Orr brings to this defensive side, man. So I'd like to thank everybody who appreciated, everybody who was able to join in, able to stop by, who was able to comment. Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man, because like I said, this episode was real rough with me. I was thinking I was going to come on here and talk about my guys going to the Super Bowl, but no, we're going to be talking about some of my guys playing in the Pro Bowl. You feel me? Like a Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, Justin Tucker, Matabike, all those guys is in the Pro Bowl this year. So shouts out to those guys, man. I hope y'all enjoy your time at the Pro Bowl. Make sure that y'all go here to, if you're not already, subscribe to the Grid Network. This is where home base is. You feel me? You can get your exclusively Ravens podcast information here through your guy, yours truly. Make sure y'all go out and follow all my social media networks if you're not already. If you're not following my Instagram at the bank_podcast, my TikTok at the bank_podcast, and to all my Twitter or X, however you want to look at it, man, is at the bank_pod. Because also on Twitter, you know, you can also view my live shows there. To all my audio listeners, man, make sure you go to the Grid Network. Make sure you follow our page. Make sure you can come in to get your audio. You feel me? And to if you out here wants to shop, like our gear that we had, man, we got hats, shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, so on, and the list goes on, man. Make sure y'all go to the Grid shop. Make sure y'all support us. Because like I said, with these content creators out here just trying to grow and be out here with the rest of the world in these platforms, you feel me? So make sure y'all go out here and support us, man. Follow the Grid Network on all the platforms, social media, YouTube, on audio podcasts and everything. Like I said, man, because we got dope content creators such as like Bryson Carver, carving it up with Bryce. We got my guy Barry and All Even Podcast. We got a Boston Summit. If you into the Boston teams, we got a lot of good shows over here, man. So make sure y'all come to the Grid Network and get your great shows. You can target the same old content that you see on other networks, man. Come there to be different. Come to the Grid, you feel me? So, as always, catch y'all next Saturday at noon as we're going to sit here and talk about what to look for in this offseason. You feel me? What type of draft pick, what we'll be looking for in the draft, you feel me, this upcoming year. So, until then, big trust. Why trust anything else, you feel me? I catch y'all.